Okay, so hey guys, and today I'm back with another movie review, and this time it is finally a Star Wars movie. And today I'll be reviewing episode 1 of the Star Wars saga, which is Star Wars The Phantom Menace. And if you hate this movie, you will probably not like this review very much because, well, I actually like this movie. Like, very much. In fact, I like the prequels a lot in general. So, yeah, keeping that in mind, let's begin the review. Okay, so first let's talk about the opening of this movie. It was a pretty nice way to start off the movie, and I like how there's so much action right from the beginning, which makes the opening not feel boring and which really makes the audience get into the movie immediately. Now I agree that the political thing going on in here can be a bit confusing at times, but as the movie progresses, you slowly start understanding what's happening and get used to it. I also really like Palpatine's introduction in this movie, mainly because of this one dialogue. Palpatine tells Newt Gunray, whose eyes kind of freak me out by the way, to begin landing the troops, but he asks Palpatine back if that is even legal or not. To that question, Palpatine answers with, I will make it legal, and it's just such a cool, badass, and underappreciated line. One of the many underrated dialogues from the prequels, to be honest. Palpatine himself is just so underrated in the prequels. When people think of Palpatine, they either think of Return of the Jedi or the opera room scene from Revenge of the Sith, but they overlook the Palpatine from the rest of the prequels, and that's just sad. The Palpatine from the opera scene just shows 10% of his brilliance in the prequels, and the prequels is what truly made him an amazing villain for me. The way he manipulated Anakin into joining the dark side and the way he made the Jedi crumble is truly impressive. The most impressive. Okay, so after that, we are soon introduced to this character named Jar Jar Binks, and I really didn't think that he was supposed to be a big deal, to be honest, until I came to the internet, where I discovered that everyone surprisingly hated him. I seriously don't get how and why people hate such a harmless character that is just there. Like, yeah, he's just there in the movie, and while he does have a lot of screen time, it never really bothered me. And trust me when I say it's extremely easy to ignore him. And yeah, he kinda annoyed me too, but not to the point where I would start hating him, and I just started ignoring him, which is again absolutely easy to do, and it worked. And even when I didn't ignore him, when I watched the movie for the first time, he didn't make the experience of this movie any worse for me. Okay, so now let's talk about my favorite character of this movie, which is undoubtedly Darth Maul. He's such a cool Sith Lord, and if it wasn't for Palpatine and his brilliantly crafted plans to make Anakin join the dark side, this guy would be my favorite Sith Lord. But even though he's my second favorite, the award for the best Sith Lord design goes to him. He just looks so cool with that red and black color scheme. I also love the chants that slowly play in the background whenever he's on the screen. I have also noticed that those chants, which are low-key ASMR, also differ from time to time, which is a nice decision. All these things combined easily make Darth Maul an amazing Sith Lord. He just looks so cool whenever he has the quote-unquote Sith hood on. And about the double-bladed lightsaber. Well, the double-bladed lightsaber unfortunately never really surprised me because this was actually my first Star Wars movie, so yeah, that's kinda sad. Who knows if the double-bladed lightsaber blew my mind like it blew many others. Maybe Darth Maul could be actually my favorite Sith Lord. Maybe though. It's pretty hard to beat Palpatine's amazing plan with just one surprise. Okay, so now let's talk about Tatooine, and this is the place I would prefer something in the originals over the prequels. In the originals, it looks like such a peaceful place, and I really like that, but here it's the complete opposite, which I don't. But aside from that, the Tatooine scenes are really nice and entertaining, especially the pod race scene. This is where we get introduced to the child version of Darth Vader for the first time, and I'm really shocked by how many people think he's annoying. Like, he's actually good for a kid character. Kid characters can be much more annoying than this. I really like Jake Lloyd's performance as this character, especially in the pod race and farewell scene, and this character just doesn't deserve all the hate it gets. Talking about the pod race scene, let's talk about it. It's a pretty intense and well crafted scene overall, but to be honest, it kinda gets repetitive at some point. It just feels like the same thing and the same shots over and over again. So I think that the pod race scene would have been better if it was shortened down a little bit. After Anakin wins the race, Qui-Gon Jinn reveals that he is no longer a slave anymore to his mother. And after that, Anakin and Shmi bid each other a sad farewell. And while the scene may not have much impact on the first watch, after you watch it after watching Attack of the Clones, ooh, does the scene have a lot of meaning and weight behind it. It's really sad to see it after seeing what happened in Attack of the Clones, and it's also kinda dark. Anyways, Coruscant is just so amazing and so beautiful, and I wish a planet like that existed in real life. Although to be honest, it looks better from the outside than it does from the inside, because when it's daytime, it looks ugly from the inside. The nighttime of Coruscant is the real deal. Yoda, Mace Windu and all these high-ranked people at the Jedi Council test Anakin and sense fear in him, and Yoda also gives his iconic fearless to anger dialogue, which surprisingly turns out to be true even in real life. And midichlorians are something that many people also hate, and I bet if the same thing was introduced in the originals, it wouldn't be hated. Because while I accept that yes, stuff like force speed and force projection and force BS like that is stupid, midichlorians is not stupid, because it actually makes the force have a little more sense and not be this magic type of thing. Midichlorian count is a pretty clever way for power ranking characters, and also a nice way to show Anakin's true force power. Okay, so after they go back to Naboo, where it is finally revealed that Padme is the queen, and I definitely didn't see that coming. Definitely. She begs the big fish guy to help them and along with all the others bows down to him. A queen to respected Jedis and a lot of other high-ranked people all bowing down to one big fish boy. Misa like it. What Misa no like though is how spit comes out of Nas's mouth whenever he does that blub 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 thing. That's disgusting. Anyways, they make a plan after that for the Battle of Naboo, and then the awesomeness of this movie finally begins. The Battle of Naboo begins, but surprisingly, or rather unsurprisingly, that's not even the most badass part of it. It is obviously the Duel of the Fates, which is just as epic as its name. The music, which is also titled the Duel of the Fates, is so epic and really makes the already awesome fight even better, and I really like it. The moment when the door slowly opened just to reveal a hooded figure mysteriously standing in front of them, waiting for them, ready to deal with every one of them while the music kicks in the background. Absolute chills. The way he slowly but viciously looks up and then reveals his double-bladed lightsaber. Absolute chills. When the fight finally begins. Absolute chills. Just when I thought it couldn't get better than the Qui-Gon vs Darth Maul fight on Tatooine, which was already pretty intense and amazing, this came in. I know that many people prefer Obi-Wan vs Anakin over this, but honestly, this is the fight that I love the most in the entire Star Wars franchise. I know there isn't much emotions behind this fight, at least not as much as Anakin vs Obi-Wan, but still, it is absolutely amazing. I also like how the barriers that ultimately separated Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and stops Obi-Wan from saving Qui-Gon are red in color. Red represents the color of the Sith and also the color of blood and death. So the barriers being red in color hinted at some sort of victory for the Sith and some sort of death for the Jedi. And that's exactly what happened. This still caught me pretty off guard though, since this movie has made Qui-Gon such an important character that it was surprising to see him getting killed off so easily. His death wasn't sad, not even a bit, but Obi-Wan's reaction to his death surely was sad. After that, it all comes down to Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, and Darth Maul almost wins, but at the end, Obi-Wan cuts him in half by slitting his torso open and making him fall into Clone Wars. Now, many people joke about Darth Maul having the high ground and still losing, but actually, even Obi-Wan knew that he was risking it since he had the lower ground, but he had no choice. It was his only option, and it worked. Why? Because Darth Maul was incredibly overconfident at the time, as you can tell from his expressions. Killing Qui-Gon Jinn would give any Sith apprentice overconfidence after all. So yeah, Darth Maul dies, and this movie reveals that it isn't even freaking trying to hide the fact that Palpatine is the Emperor, and it ends by having a big stupid celebration and with the fish boy holding a big purple orb thingy. Seriously, what is that purple orb all about? Rating? Okay, so you aren't going to like this rating even if you like this movie itself, because I'm pretty sure even you wouldn't rate it this high even if you liked it, because it is actually a 10 out of 10. Yeah, surprising. For you maybe, but not for me, because I absolutely loved it. And by loved, I mean loved. Best moment, Duel of the Fates. Okay, so yeah guys, and that was it for the video. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course subscribe. And so yeah guys, bye.